You may already know a lot about the Oneplus NORD, which is launched yesterday with Oneplus Bird. Oneplus NORD is previously rumored to be OnePlus 8 or OnePlus Z. So there was a lot of hype going on about this smartphone, feeding us a number of specs, design, and even shots of the handset. So first of all, NORD is not here to replace any flagship, even though it shares same camera sensor as OnePlus 8, but there are many other things like chipset which makes it different or maybe unique. Unique because at price point which it comes is very unique. $399 for base variant. It is offering similar specs to the OnePlus 8 in a mid-range phone. Sounds like a recipe for stealing some of the 8's thunder. Then you wouldn't be entirely wrong. In fact, OnePlus co-founder Carl Priest says that the two phones are targeting two different markets. He doesn't want the company to be afraid of competing with itself. So the NORD will be available in both blue marble and grey onyx with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of internal storage for €379 or $399, or with 12GB of RAM and 256GB of storage for €469 or $499. So then there are cameras. On the back of the NORD, you will find 4 rear cameras, a 48 megapixels main camera, an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle, and then a 2 megapixel macro camera and a 5 megapixel depth sensor. That's technically one more camera than the OnePlus 8, but the important thing is that camera you will actually use to take your photos has exactly the same 48 megapixel Sony IMX586 sensor. The compromise meanwhile comes with the wide-angle camera, which has half the resolution of OnePlus 8. With 4 cameras on the rear, it packs dual front cameras in pill-shaped cutout. OnePlus is actually breaking new ground with NORD. Here you will find 2 front-facing cameras, including an 8 megapixel sensor, ultra-wide camera with a 105-degree field of view, as well as a more traditional 32 megapixel selfie camera. It means that screen hole punch cutout is twice as big. But it's a useful feature if you're trying to take a selfie with a group of friends or just want to include more of your environment. And if we take a look at display, this phone has a 6.44 inches Super AMOLED display. This is 2020 and we all love high refresh rates. So OnePlus is offering us 90Hz display in $399, which is just amazing if we consider that iPhone SE2 at the same price giving us an LCD panel. So the 6.44 inches is a little smaller and it doesn't curve around the edges of the device like the 8 did. That makes the phone feel a little less premium, but the impact to day-to-day usage is minimal. The big question, and one that is hard to answer because on specs alone, is what sort of impact the NORD's less powerful Snapdragon 765G will have on its camera performance. It's long been clear that software processing is almost as important as hardware when it comes to picture quality, meaning we could still see a difference in picture quality between the 8 and the NORD. Despite the NORD's similar sensors, the NORD's 90Hz screen can probably take credit for a lot of how smooth the phone feels to use. It's a feature that's virtually unheard of at this price point, and it offers a marked improvement over the 60Hz panels that are still common on most phones. OnePlus is no stranger to high refresh rate panels, but it's great to see this comes to a mid-range device, even as many other manufacturers are only now bringing them to their flagship devices. The OnePlus NORD includes a very respectable 4115 mAh battery, which is only a hair smaller than the 4300 mAh battery in the 8. It also won't have to power a separate modem thanks to the integrated model in the Snapdragon 765G, while Qualcomm's flagship processor this year have to be used with separate modems. The result is a really interesting device that on paper at least ticks a lot of boxes for what you like to see in a modern smartphone, regardless of whether it's technically a mid-range or a flagship. Thanks for watching, and if OnePlus is kind enough to send me one, I will definitely make a review. And hey, don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell icon button and get me 2000 subscribers.